This is Ask a Couples Counsellor, a show that answers all the relationship questions you're too afraid to ask. On the show, we'll take your questions and give you the tools you need to build trust and intimacy with your partner. I'm your host, Neha Kapoor. I'm a registered clinical counsellor and psychotherapist, and I'm really passionate about helping couples navigate the challenges that we all go through. Because after all, every relationship encounters some stormy weather now and then. Hello and welcome to another episode of Ask a Couples Counsellor. In today's episode, we're diving into some deeply personal and important topics surrounding intimacy, self-discovery, and relationships. Whether it's navigating the challenges of physical intimacy, exploring new sides of yourself, or building confidence in dating, we're here to remind you that these experiences are unique to you. Each step you take in understanding your needs and desires matters, and it's okay to approach them with patience and self-compassion. All right, let's get into it. So our first question for today comes from an anonymous listener. Let's have a listen to their question.
Is it possible to have a fulfilling sexual relationship with someone who finds penetration painful?
Look, as a couples therapist, I understand that intimacy and sexual connection are deeply personal, and each relationship is unique in my opinion. So when one partner experiences pain during penetration, it can understandably create feelings of frustration or sadness. However, it is absolutely possible to have a fulfilling sexual relationship in such circumstances. What's key is to explore what feels good and fulfilling for both partners without focusing solely on one specific act. So pain during penetration, often referred to as dyspareunia, this can be caused by physical or emotional factors. So it's important to explore those potential causes with a healthcare provider. And once any medical concerns are addressed, couples can find new ways to connect intimately. And this may involve experimenting with different forms of touch, communication, and affection. And it's about deepening emotional intimacy and discovering alternative expressions of love and desire. What's crucial is maintaining open, empathetic communication with your partner and explore each other's needs, desires, and boundaries. Intimacy is not limited to physical acts alone. It can be about feeling seen, heard, and cherished in a way that go beyond what might have been originally expected. So a fulfilling sexual relationship doesn't have to look the same for every couple. And when both partners are patient and attuned to each other's needs, there is room to create a rich, meaningful connection. So you might discover that intimacy in other forms, whether through sensual touch, mutual respect, or emotional closeness, can just be as fulfilling, if not more so. So it's about understanding each other's bodies, desires, and how to care for one another in a way that nurtures the relationship in a holistic way. I hope that answers your question. All right, let's move on to our second question for today, which comes from Robin in Sydney. Let's have a listen to Robin's question.
I'm in my 30s and I've only ever had sex with one person. Now I'm dating again and I think I'm behind everybody else. How can I regain some self-confidence?
Look, Robin, I just want to say it's completely understandable to feel that way. And I want to acknowledge the courage it takes to open up about your feelings. So first of all, there's no right or wrong timeline when it comes to relationships or intimacy. Everyone moves at their own pace, and there's absolutely no need to compare your journey to others. And it might help to reflect on what you've experienced in your previous relationship and how it's shaped your approach to dating now. Look, your experience is unique to you, and it sounds like you've built a strong foundation with one partner. Now, as you enter the dating world again, consider focusing on what feels true to you rather than external expectations. Building confidence comes from being comfortable with where you're at right now. So give yourself permission to take things one step at a time and don't feel pressured to conform to anyone else's idea of who you should be. And take it slow. Communicate openly with your partner and embrace the idea that intimacy and connection are about mutual understanding, respect, and trust, rather than about performance or meeting arbitrary standards. You're not behind at all. You're just on your own beautiful path. And most importantly, you deserve to feel safe, valued, and comfortable in your own skin. And if you need to, take some time to explore what makes you feel empowered and whole, both in and out of relationships. And it's okay to reach out for support from a therapist or a counselor who can help you build self confidence as you navigate these new experiences. Remember that you're not alone in this, and you are more than enough. I hope that answers your question. All right, let's get into our last question for today, which comes from Alex in Perth. Let's have a listen to Alex's question.
I've been in a relationship for a long time, and I really love my partner, but I've been wondering for a long time about sex with someone of the same sex, which is something I've never done before. How do I talk to my partner about this? Do I need to break up with them to explore this side of myself?
First of all, Alex, I just want to acknowledge the depth of what you're sharing. It's not easy to explore and navigate these feelings, and it shows great vulnerability to reflect on what's important to you. The desire to explore your sexual identity can be a complex and emotional experience, and it's understandable that you're uncertain about how to approach it in the context of a long-term relationship. Look, when it comes to discussing this with your partner, I encourage you to approach the conversation with kindness, respect, and openness. Sharing your feelings with them can be incredibly difficult, but it's also an opportunity to strengthen the trust and communication between you. So try to create a safe, non judgmental space where both of you can express your thoughts and feelings openly, because it's important to make it clear that your curiosity or desires don't diminish your love for them or the value of your relationship. Rather, this exploration could be an important part of understanding your own identity. It's also important to approach the conversation in a way that's grounded in empathy for both yourself and your partner. And if this is something that you feel you need to explore for your own growth, it's okay to honor that. But also recognize that it may stir up a range of emotions for your partner. They might feel confused, hurt, or even relieved. And it's important to be prepared to listen to them as much as you speak from your heart. And as for whether you need to break up to explore this side of yourself, well, what I would say is that there's no one size fits all to that answer. It depends on what feels right for you and your partner. Some people choose to stay together while exploring this part of themselves, either with the support of their partner or through individual exploration. Others may decide that they need time apart to fully understand and honor this new part of their identity. So ultimately, you don't have to have all the answers right away. It's okay to take small steps, communicate honestly, and be patient with yourself and your partner. The key is to approach the situation with self-compassion and to create an environment where both of you feel safe and supported in navigating these complex emotions. And look, if you feel uncertain, working with a therapist individually or as a couple can be a helpful way to sort through these feelings and find the path that's best for you. Your journey towards understanding yourself is important, and I'm confident that with love and honest communication, you can navigate this in a way that honors both your feelings and your partner's. And remember that you're not alone in this, and it's okay to take your time. I hope that answers your question, Alex. That's it for today. And before I go, if you have any burning questions you want answered, send them to novoempowercounselling@gmail.com. Let's navigate this journey together, because better relationships start with understanding. I can't wait to hear from you. You've been listening to Ask a Couples Counselor, a show that answers all the relationship questions you're too afraid to ask. This show is produced by Novo Empower Counselling. We provide a range of services, including couples counselling, individual counselling, and online counselling. To find out more, visit our website novoempowercounselling.com.au. This show was produced with strategy and production support from Wavelength Creative. To make sure you don't miss an episode of Ask a Couples Counsellor, be sure to subscribe to or follow the show in your podcast app. And while you're there, I'd love it if you could leave me a 5-star review. It really helps others find the show. I'm your host, Neha Kapoor, and I'll see you in the next episode.